And the technology we used back in the 60s how to design the length of our cars, that was 185-inch. So we were all engineers back in the 60s, so we were all real smart, trying to figure out what was going to be the best way to build our cars. So we used a very precision instrument. It's called a measuring tape. We measured our garage and see what would fit in it, and that's what we ordered for a chassis. And that's a true story. So how deep your garage was how long your dragster was going to be. Every once in a while you'll drive around, you'll see a garage door with a box in front of it. Well, he didn't measure right. This is a 1958 Chrysler Imperial 392. Some little old lady used to drive around with. So the block is older than a lot of you. Put out about 175 horsepower when it was in a car. It puts out 2,500 horsepower now with the addition of the supercharger, injectors, and running it on nitromethane. Nitromethane is not a petroleum product. It's a solvent. It's a chemical. There is no petroleum products at all in it. It's very difficult to ignite. We throw matches, you can throw anything into a puddle of stuff and it'll just put the match out. It was invented in 1870s as a solvent and used as such, and it wasn't even known until the 1920s that it could explode. And they found out it could explode when there was a train crash and there was a tanker full of the stuff, and it made a big bang. The military tried to see if they could develop it into a weapon, and they couldn't because it's so hard to ignite. They dropped it out of a drum out of an airplane at 500 feet and hit the ground, just splattered. But we found a good use for it. But the main use all through the years has been primarily to clean your clothes. The dry cleaners use nitromethane as their solvent to clean your clothes until the late 70s. Nowadays, the #1 user of nitromethane is not racers, it is strawberry growers. They fumigate the ground with nitromethane before they plant the strawberries. So that's now you know why you like strawberries. The reason nitromethane makes such a good fuel for us to use and create so much more horsepower is it has its own oxygen molecules in it. And unlike gasoline, which requires the air and fuel mixture, well, with nitro, because it has its own oxygen in the fuel, I can put 7 times as much nitro in a cylinder as I can gasoline and still light it. So with that much more fuel in the cylinder, you're going to get that much more power when it finally explodes. Now, again, it's a very, very stable fuel. It's not a real dangerous thing to be around unless you're inside a cylinder. Now, these cars, of course, we push-started them back in the late 60s with cars. We talked one of our friends into borrowing his mom's car so we could hang a board on the front of it. Told him, trust me,